like to start off with a poem about Barack Obama. Wouldn't that be some shit? No, but on a positive tip, but you gotta, I don't conventionally agree with his opinions, but I brought him down here, he's a friend of mine. And the only way that you're going to get better ideas is by sharing ideas. Would you rather have ideas that you don't agree with just be kept up in other groups, you know what I mean? Or would you rather have them shared with you and then other people can share their point of view and maybe it'll change it, maybe it'll change yours. So, round of applause if you guys watch politics on television. I don't want you to know why you're excited, I don't. It's fucking boring. You ever watch politics on television for more than like 12 minutes? It's excruciating. You know what I mean? They have like their own lingo, their own dialect. It's like all these acronyms and synonyms. It's so pipicist, but how the fuck are you supposed to follow what's going on? And it's amplified so much more because the rest of television is so amazingly interesting. Like, why would you give a shit about Citizens United or NDAA when you could watch The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad? You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
I'm going to give you a second to turn that off.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a second to turn that off. That's what I said.
It's an emergency alert.
Emergency.
That's what it is.
Thank you for interrupting my flow. You got it? You good?
Look at him like flood.
It's a flood.
You good?
Yeah, it's just saying that there's a flash flood in Baltimore City.
Hey, don't care. At all. So what I decided I was going to do, well, I was going to take some time, watch TV, crack the code, and then write a story using a language that we as Americans find far too familiar. And here's my story that I wrote about what's going on in American politics. Once upon a time, there was a gifted man who, after the Daily Show, was up all night dreaming about living single. But in reality, he was a family guy with family matters. He was married with children, bored to death, and tired of being the biggest loser. Desperately trying to escape this American horror story, he wanted to become an American Idol. Change his hustle, become the apprentice, and watch these scoundrels play their Game of Thrones, trying to finally figure out who's the boss. Now he soon discovered that these royal pains and hoarders had an X factor. They were cheaters. Using their street smarts and criminal minds, a bit of a house of lies, covering up their covert affairs in the West Wing to collect their bones.
Okay.
Leaving this country in jeopardy.
I like jeopardy.
Unsupervised, they disobey law and order. In plain sight. The numbers aren't lost. There's a body of proof that the prime suspect is elementary that every person of interest has partners, but because they have all the leverage, there can be no revolution, no revenge until the price is right. So all across America, from Southland to South Park to Jersey Shore, scrubs and friends are drawn together to have intervention. But this soon becomes Spin City. Determined to catch a predator, I then ask this shameless, white-collar entourage in suits, or they feel justified to lie to me. And we're all finally about to hear the voice of Big Brother. They're saved by the bell. And those are the facts of life. And that's pop culture politics. But now I gotta follow that. I feel like I kind of busted my load a little early. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there was how you talk about having sex with a chick and how you actually have sex. Like, you really talk about, like, I'm gonna deep dick the shit out of this bitch. Like in your head. You know what I mean? But when it actually happens,
Yes.
you know, a little early. Just saying. Round of applause if you guys watch reality TV. Even the people that are honest enough with themselves to admit it don't clap that on. Because you know you're wrong. People that watch reality TV are like the pedophiles of the entertainment industry. You know what I mean? You know what you're doing is horribly wrong, but you just can't help yourself. You know what I mean? And I write that one line just so I hope that attaching the word pedophile to your television habits makes you stop watching them, thus making you better people. Because I get enough of reality in reality.
Yeah.
I don't think that really needs a punchline. But I think we're coming up on Black History Month. I'm not sure. So short, it's only 28 days. Anyways.
Okay.
Could have missed it, I don't know. Quick one. I think it's hysterically hypocritical when a white supremacist walks into a tanning salon. You know, you think they'd be outside picketing. I feel bad for white supremacists that drink coffee, because they must drink like the most horribly rancid piss water coffee. Because if you were a white supremacist, you'd be totally opposed to adding anything white, and you'd be really pissed if anything black was good. Coffee, adding milk. Some of this shit takes a second to simmer, sugar. I respected white supremacists more like in the 50s and 60s, when they at least easily identified themselves with pointy white hats. Now they wear Armani suits and do talk radio, and it's harder to pick them out. Yeah, I know, that's why I wrote it. But talk radio has get in trouble a lot, like because the argument they get fired for all the time is called the Jimmy the Greek argument. Originally in the 1970s, somebody got up on there and tried to explain why black people were better at sports, and he was quickly fired. And people since then have tried to tackle the same argument, and they're always fired. And they should be. But not because of what they're talking about, it's because what they're talking about is wrong. Black people aren't better at sports.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not.
Wait for it.
Not because you're black. It's not the black that does it. Black is a color, it's not a character trait. You can't act black, you can only be black. If it was really the black that did it, if it was the darkness that let you dunk, don't you think that white athletes would inject themselves with melanin instead of steroids?
Makes sense.
If it was the black, if that's what it was. You gotta let me get there first. It sounds like it always comes out right. Because if you think about it, what we do is, like, as an American culture, we don't really read as much as we should. And we just look, and we look on a, we'll say, basketball court, and you think, oh, there are more black people than white people. That must be what it is. That must be the highest common denominator. It's not. You know what the highest common denominator is in all sports across the board, regardless of race? Look at their parents' annual income level. Poverty makes you good at sports. Desperation makes you great. There was never a rich kid that seized the day or had a dream. If we got two people, right? Person A and person B. It doesn't matter what color we paint these fuckers. Right. Person A, he's got a good family, and after the basketball game, he goes home and has a family dinner and then plays Call of Duty all night. That kid's not going to the NBA. You know what I mean? But if this kid over here, daddy's got a fucking drinking problem, my mommy likes to hit the cocaine too much, and every time he misses a free throw, he just hit the head with a hammer. He cleans up a little bit later black. You know what I mean? Let the kid go. That's the kid going, I'm just saying. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? What it was, the only reason that black people are dominating some sports at this particular time in history is because blacks were just allowed into sports in like 1958. You know what I mean? And then, so since they were the most desperate culture at the time, of course they came into sports. But then as they get more fiscally fluid and get to integrate themselves into society, now you see like the most poverty-stricken in the 80s and 90s was the Hispanic people, and they came into baseball. And now if you think about the most poverty-stricken is the Slavic nations, like the Eastern Bloc, and they're coming into basketball like crazy. You know what I mean? Because Like 20 years ago, they were the most poverty-stricken. And I know you're thinking I'm forgetting Africa, but they play soccer, and we don't count that as a sport in this country. So it was really the darkness that did it. Michael Jordan, best basketball player ever, he's not that dark. He's mediocre. And Wesley Snipes could dunk from half court. If it was black. That did it. So see, black people aren't better at sports. Message! Wait, tie it back in. Call back on her shit. Right there. We got a haircut together.
Pat your weave. Pat your weave.
Pat my weave?
Yes, pat it. I'm gonna change that. That's a good point. If I hang around for a little bit and I'm selling DVDs, would anybody buy a DVD for $10 from me? I would.
Alright, round of applause if you think about buying a DVD, because now I'm gonna go home and get drunk and convince some girl I'm a nice person. I was, when I grew up as a kid, I got kicked out of Sunday school when I was 8. The first time I went. And not because I'm like blasphemous or anything like that. I mean, I was 8. How fucking blasphemous can you be? But I've always been really inquisitive. You know, I ask a lot of questions. And like the questions that I was asking, preachers didn't want to answer. So I turned into an atheist as a very young person. And then I realized that